Do you want to manifest more money in your life? In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways to raise your money mindset and start manifesting more money now. What's up, superheroes? Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. I'm Scarlett Grace from UnseenSeraph.com. I'm a manifestation coach, and today's video is all about manifesting money and elevating your money mindset. If you're new here and you want to learn how to manifest any desire fast with the law of attraction and Neville Goddard's teachings, then start now by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you won't miss any video that could change your life. And if you need some extra help or my personal advice for your situation, email coaching is now available. You'll find the links in the description below. So let's talk about manifesting money. Do you have less money than you'd like? Are you always broke? Do you find it hard to manifest money? Or maybe no matter how much money comes in, you always end up spending it all right away? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you're suffering from a low set point when it comes to money. In the first video in this series, I explained all about money mindsets and how to find yours, as well as how to identify the beliefs you have that are keeping you at this low set point and how to replace them with new beliefs so that you can start making more money. So if you haven't watched it yet, then after this video, go and watch that video to get all the information you need to start raising your money mindset right away. Just so we're on the same page though, your money mindset is basically the income level you have been programmed to consider normal for you. Whether that's $500 per month or $1 million per month, we all have a specific income level we consider normal for us, and that is usually programmed in our minds during childhood. Whatever this number is, it will determine what you expect from life money-wise, what you believe is possible for you to manifest, as well as how you behave when it comes to money. Think of your set point as your capacity to hold money. Most people say they want money, but not all people have the same capacity to receive it and to hold on to it and multiply it. When it comes to receiving money, some people have a mindset and belief system that's the equivalent of coming with a huge truck to get filled with cash, while others show up holding an empty shot glass. In another video in this series, we'll get into your behavior when it comes to money, what it says about you, and what role it plays when it comes to manifesting money. In this video though, I'm going to share with you 3 different methods you can use to start raising your money mindset and to start getting used to the idea of financial prosperity and having more money. If you follow one or even all of these methods, you will increase your capacity and your life's capacity to receive money and hold on to it. So let's get right to it. The first way to raise your money mindset is a little game that I think is from Abraham Hicks. What you do is you take a $100 bill. And this is in the physical world, by the way, not in your imagination. This is a real banknote. So you take a $100 bill and you put it in your wallet. But you don't actually spend it, no. Instead, every day as you go about your day and you come across things you'd like to have, you spend it in your imagination to buy all of these things. For example, you're walking down the street when you see a pair of shoes you really like in a store window. The shoes cost, let's say, $90. Now, your old self that really struggled financially may have reacted to this by feeling sad. This is such a cool pair of shoes. It's such a pity they cost so much though. I really want to have those shoes. But it's either the shoes or paying for gas, so... You're your new self though, and your new self has a $100 bill that can be spent in your mind tens of hundreds of times a day. So, in your imagination, you walk inside that store and you buy those cool shoes. And you think about how wonderful it is that you have the money to just walk into a store and randomly purchase a pair of $90 shoes. Now later in the day, you may see something else that you'd like. So again, you use your imagination to picture in your mind buying that thing you like with your $100. And since you never actually spend your $100 and it keeps being in your wallet, you can spend it in your imagination as many times as you want. 10 times, 50 times, 100 times a day. And you aren't fooling yourself into thinking you could buy these things each time you do it, because you truly, physically have $100 with you that you could actually spend to buy any of those things you saw. It's like an imaginary shopping spree in $100 increments every day, and it switches your thoughts from focusing on all the reasons why you can't have all those things to happily and easily walking into stores and buying them. And by the end of the day, you still have that $100 bill in your wallet too. Cool, right? And let's say you spend your $100 10 times in your imagination today. That's a total of $1,000. Now, what kind of person can afford to spend $1,000 on a whim within one day? And in cash too, not through credit cards and getting into debt. The version of yourself who is already rich and has a much elevated set point. That's who. Now, if $100 is a very small amount to you based on your set point, you can use a bigger amount for this exercise. Or if you're really struggling and truly cannot afford to set aside $100 that you will never spend, then choose a smaller amount. Just make sure that the amount you choose is on the higher end of what you could set aside for this. For example, if you can currently set aside $50 for this exercise, don't just use a $10 bill just because you don't like the idea of parting with $50. It just won't work well to elevate your money mindset if you're using an amount that seems small to you for this exercise. If you spend $6 for a cup of coffee every morning, then doing this exercise with $10 isn't going to cut it. The second way to raise your money mindset is by actually giving away money. Now I know what you're thinking. My problem is that I don't have enough money and you want me to give money away? Are you crazy? But hear me out. When we don't have as much money as we want, we tend to hold on to it really, really tightly. And that means we're locked into the belief that money is hard to come by and we have to do everything in our power to hold on to it for as long as possible. Because if we spend it, then we will be left with no money. So basically, we keep telling ourselves that we don't have enough money and that money is hard. Believe it or not, this kind of thinking doesn't go away when your income increases. Many of my clients tell me that they feel really bad whenever they spend money, even if they aren't struggling that much financially. And that's because they're locked into a lack mentality when it comes to money. And that kind of lack mentality will just keep manifesting lack of money in your reality. What we want is for you to raise your money mindset and have a mentality of prosperity and ease when it comes to money. So if you deliberately give money away, this act affirms to yourself that money is not scarce and it's not hard to come by. Otherwise, you would be holding on to it tight. Since you're not, it means money is easy and money is abundant. You don't just have enough money for all your wants and needs, you even have enough money to give some away. Now, when I say give money away, I don't mean that you should drive by a busy street while throwing dollar bills out the window or anything like that. What I mean is, can you part with about 1% of your monthly income and give it to someone without expecting anything in return? For example, if you make $1,000 per month, 1% of that is just $10. Can you part with $10 a month to raise your money mindset? Find a few ways you can give $10 to someone else every month without expecting anything in return. You're giving those $10 because you live in abundance and therefore you're in a position to help someone else. Don't think of it as giving your hard-earned cash away. Think of it as investing $10 in your future every month. It doesn't really matter how and to whom you give those $10 as long as it's not in a way where you get something out of it. For example, you can give your $10 by giving a more generous tip than usual at your favorite restaurant. You can pledge $10 a month to your favorite charity or animal shelter. You can give them to that homeless person you pass by every day on your way to work. Or you can pay for the coffee of the person standing behind you in line at Starbucks. You can give your $10 away all at once, or you can give $1 away 10 times within a month if this makes you feel happy. There is something about giving money freely without being asked to and without expecting anything in return that helps our subconscious switch from lack to prosperity. Making it a point to give away a small amount like that every month that won't break the bank helps your mind switch from the person you are right now, who's struggling financially, to the person you want to be, who lives in an abundance of money. The third way to raise your money mindset is one you don't need any physical money at all to start using. In this method, you spend imaginary money every single day, and the amount increases every day in a specific way. Before I get into how to actually use this method, let me first say that I was introduced to it a few years back as part of a private online membership where we all started this method together on the same day and were tracking results for a few months. This method comes from a book by Matthew Cross and Robert Friedman called The Golden Ratio and the Fibonacci Sequence. Now, I don't know if the method is actually mapped out in the book or not, but one of the authors was on a podcast a few years back, and he talked about how he used the method I'm about to share with you to increase his income exponentially in just a few months. I'll put the link to the book in the description below if you want to check it out. Personally, when I used this method, I didn't notice a significant increase in my income. What happened though was that the items I bought with my imaginary money started showing up in my reality. For example, shortly before starting this method, my dishwasher and microwave broke down unexpectedly on the same day, and I also wanted to get a dehumidifier. So those were things I bought with my imaginary money. Shortly afterwards, someone actually gifted me a brand new microwave, dishwasher, and dehumidifier. And I don't mean they had those items and they didn't know what to do with them and gifted them to me. They actually went to a store and bought those items new for me. Just like that. I also bought my brother an electric guitar with my imaginary money, and when I visited him, I found out that our dad had just bought him a guitar for his birthday. It wasn't the same guitar I'd listed because I hadn't actually asked him what guitar he liked when I was doing the exercise. But the one he got cost exactly as much as the one I had bought with my imaginary money. So here's how this method works. The way the amount of imaginary money you have to spend every day increases is according to the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is a mathematical sequence where every number in the sequence is the sum of the two previous numbers in the sequence. So for example, the first number is 1. Then the next day, it will also be 1 because the sum of the two previous numbers is 1. The third day, it's 2 because you add the two previous numbers, 1 plus 1, which equals 2, and so on. Now, if you hate math and don't know what the heck I'm talking about here, then just Google Fibonacci sequence and you'll get the numbers, or you can sign up to get access to my free resource library, where you can download a free PDF of this exercise with everything you need already figured out for you, so that you can start this method right away. So let's say you start this exercise with $100 imaginary to spend. So you take a notebook and write $100 at the top of the page, and then under it you write exactly what you're going to spend that money on. And it needs to be exactly. If you're unsure what the exact cost of the thing you want to buy with your imaginary money is, then just Google it. So, if for example you want to buy something and it costs $99, then you still have $1 you need to spend. Buy imaginary gum or something. The next day, you once again have $100 imaginary to spend. So again, write the amount at the top of the page in your notebook, and under it, write exactly what you want to spend your imaginary $100 on. The third day, you have $200 imaginary to spend. So write the amount at the top of the page in your notebook, and under it, write down exactly what you spend it on. The only rules you have to follow are, number 1, you have to spend the exact amount of imaginary money you have each day. No more and no less than it. So if you don't know exactly how much something you want to buy costs, then Google it, and if you end up with $1 left or some cents left, you still have to write what you did with those, like buy gum or give it as a tip to someone. And the second rule is, you are not allowed to pay off debt with your imaginary money. You have to actually buy something, whether that's a physical object like a computer or a TV, for example, or something immaterial like an online course or a club membership. Now, at first, this may sound easy, but very soon you'll find that the amounts get really big. And I mean really big. At the same time, you'll realize that you've already bought everything you had ever dreamed of up until this point, and now you're out of things to buy. That's because the kinds of things we dream of owning are directly related to who we believe we are. Many people dream of buying a big house, but few people actually intend to manifest owning castles and private islands. But if you do this exercise for a while, it will very soon get to a point where the amounts are so big, where castles and private islands and generally really big stuff are the only ones left to buy in order to spend all your daily imaginary money. So if you find yourself shopping online for private jets and comparing prices while doing this exercise, then you're not going crazy, you're just raising your money mindset. So which of the 3 methods are you going to use to raise your money mindset? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, share it so other people can find it and benefit from it too, and if you haven't already, then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life. Thank you so much for watching.